Yeah, Shravan, shall we start?
Yes, ma'am, you can.
Yeah, they'll be joining us. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. So yesterday we have dealt about internal environment and external environment, isn't it? Now it is utmost important for us to do some scanning of all these factors. Okay, we call it as environmental scanning. So actually, scanning is a very simple word, isn't it? What it is nothing but to look after all the parts, right? And very carefully, whether it is management policy or the employees or the technology they are using, who are the stakeholders, all such things, very carefully, why we are doing that scanning in order to detect some feature, some strength, some weakness or some opportunities, or where the opportunity lies and where the threats are. So that is what is scanning, environmental scanning. So what exactly it refers? It refers to possession. Okay, possession and utilization of information. Possession and utilization of whatever the information we have regarding occasions, regarding patterns, regarding relationships, regarding the trends. Okay, uh, where within the internal environment and external environment. Why we are doing all these things, right? To help the managers, to decide the future action of the organization. Okay, this information, no, this information regarding occasions, regarding patterns, regarding trends happenings, regarding relationships, all these things will help the managers. Okay, then generally when we speak about internal environmental factors and like management changes, employee morale, cultural changes, financial changes, these are the things which are controllable, so manager can control all these things. So internal environmental scanning would be done. Okay, so what exactly we have to do is, we have to do, when we talk about environmental scanning, it's very essential for us to know this SWOT. It's an acronym. Okay, SWOT analysis must be done. SWOT, no, SWOT. SWOT, S stands for strengths, and W for weaknesses, O for opportunities, and T for threats. Okay, so uh, yeah, it's very important. Okay, it's very important form of business environment analysis, we know, which is accepted all over the world. We have another concept like SWA. Okay, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, aspirations. A is there, that is also been followed, but this is very popular one which is followed all over the world. So a firm's strengths, we have to know what are the strengths. Okay, their resources, the abilities that can be used as a foundation for expanding, no, and taking competitive advantage. What are their strengths? No, resources, whether financial resources or manpower, whatever, no, that strengths you have to recognize. And then you also should know the weaknesses. Yeah, it may be no lack of funds or lack of suppliers of funds. That may be the weakness of that particular company, or no lack of adapting to changes, especially related to technology. That may be the weakness. So you have to scan all these things. So internal analysis, no, to know strengths and weaknesses. Then external analysis is done to know the opportunities. Okay, opportunities, no, they are, you can say, are the factors which open doors to profitability and expansion of a firm. Okay, and are present in the external environments, no, novel technologies to be developed to meet particular need of importance. Okay, likewise, then there are some threats. For you it may be threat, but it would be a competitive edge to the other business organizations. So likewise, a SWOT analysis must be done. So what we are doing in SWOT analysis, we are trying to identify all these four major things: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Strengths should be enhanced always. Whatever strength we have, we should not be feeling satisfied that yes, we have this strength and keep quiet. No, you have to enhance that strength. Then weaknesses, you have to eliminate it. You should avoid it or you should eliminate it. Why? Because to reap more benefits, right? Then opportunities, you have to grab it. Okay. And challenges or threats, what you have to do, you have to avoid challenging of threats. Okay. So in other words, what we can say is what no is the foundation for evaluating internal potential of the organization, and whatever the limitations are there, probably we have to avoid all those things. Okay. So an overview we have seen now: strengths, they can be either tangible or intangible strengths. Okay, they are beneficial to the organization. Some of these, examples of strength is like huge finances, as I told you, a big product line, no debt at all, very committed employees. That comes under strengths. Weaknesses, you can take no like huge debts, high employee turnover, complex decision making process, narrow product range, yeah, and no larger wastage of raw materials. These are some of the examples of weaknesses. When you take opportunities, they may arise from market or from competition or from industry, government, and technology, right? Increasing demand for telecommunications, no, they have accompanied by deregulation is a greater opportunity for especially to new firms, no, for to enter into telecom sector during that period. Okay. Threats, no, yeah, like unrest among employees, ever changing technology, ever changing taste and preferences of consumers, increasing competition, right? This all will lead to no like excess capacity, price wars would be there, and reducing industry profits. So all these things are the threats to the organization. Okay. So this is what is uh, environmental scanning and strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Okay. Some of the important things why SWOT analysis. No, you have to remember four benefits of it. Number one is it brings to light whether the business unit is healthy or sick, isn't it? That is very important. So even we scan our body every after 40 years, we go for health checkup and we'll know what whether we are healthy or having some disease which can be cured, right? So that is what we do, scanning of our health. So SWOT analysis, first thing, it brings us know whether the business is healthy or weak. Second one is we come to know whether internal and external factors, whether they are affecting the business or success or failure. Okay, if success, well and good, we can carry out the business policy as long as it is fetching us profits. Whereas if it is failure, then we have to again plan a strategy so that we can improve and get benefits. Okay. And third one is it helps in the formulation of strategy, which is a long run one, so as to make preparation for the possible threats. Okay, possible threats, then especially from the competitors, so that we can overcome that. Okay. And fourth one is it evaluates the business environment in a very detailed manner, because scanning, we have come to know about strengths, we have come to know about weaknesses, what are the opportunities outside, and what are the threats, and also so a big scanning, a big picture is been drawn. Okay, so in a detailed way we have done. Why? Because to know or to take strategic decisions, right? uh, Especially for the future course of action, whether to expand our business or whether to no diversify the products. Okay, if you are dealing with hotel industry, you may go for telecom industry or petroleum industry. So this all depends upon the strengths you have. Okay. So that you have to know. Okay. Next, there are some advantages or importance, as I told you. Especially, it's a source of information for strategic planning. Yeah, it's a major source so that you can decide the future action of your business activities or operations, and you can build organizational strengths. Then you can maximize its response to opportunities, and then you can overcome organizational threats. Then core competencies of the firm can be identified. You can set some objectives for strategic planning. Then you can learn from past, present, and future, so that you can use this data for future plan of action. Okay, these are all the advantages, but there are some limitations also of SWOT analysis, because no it maybe seems to be very simple, because we can yeah, strengths internal only, we can note down weaknesses internal, we can note down external, no, opportunities. Yeah, in this telecom industries, these are the opportunities, and that's all that we can do. But no, it sometimes no overlook some certain key strategic contact. Okay, like some stress upon the significance of all these four facts would be done. Okay, but it does not tell us how organization can identify these aspects for itself. Okay, for some no strengths, okay, my smile may be a strength for me, but for others it may not be. No, it may be a dangerous threat for her or for him, right? So like the organization, they have their own strengths and weaknesses, so they that aspects itself, no, we cannot define, and we cannot uh, look into it. Okay, so these are some of the limitations of SWOT analysis. Okay, see, then we'll move to international environment. Okay, see, business organization, not only political, legal, economic, social, cultural, and technological, they have to have an idea about international environment also, because we are living in a global village, right? Dealing with global companies, right? So uh, we have to know about international business also. So we have these include especially exporting goods and services. Then giving license to produce goods in the host country, and starting a joint venture with the company, opening a branch for producing and distributing goods in the host country. And the fifth one is providing managerial services to companies in the host country. So actually, we should know what internal business is. Yeah, it is international business. Sorry, it is the all no. It conducts business transactions all over the world. These transactions, they may include transfer of goods and services, technology transfer, managerial knowledge, okay, and capital to other countries. That is what is international business. So these are the things, no, in these forms we are doing it: exporting goods and services, or giving license to produce goods in the host country, then otherwise no, a joint venture with that company, or a branch for producing goods, that is expansion of our branches in the host country, and providing managerial services. Okay, all these things are the options for doing international business. Okay, so we have to know, as a student of MBA, the characteristics of developed countries and developing countries. Okay, so that in case you want to start a business organization, whether you're in developing country or in developed country, because the policy matters of the government and other things differ. Okay, so these are just, I'll just read one after the other. You have to know all these things. If in the case of developed countries, you have post-industrial economies, high level of industrial development, no, high level of industrial development, high level of affluent citizens. So we don't find poor people over there, very affluent, good standard of living of people there. Mostly they would be spending on luxury goods, right? Next, low levels of unemployment. So even jobs are plenty, and everybody gets a job over there. So low levels we find, almost negligible, we can say, unemployment. Then we have higher education rates. Education, also is very top class. Technological advantages, they gain technological advantages, better roads, so infrastructure is very good. Then stable government. So this is a very important. No? In developed countries, you find the not unstable one, stable governments would be there. Then good healthcare is there, right? Then human and natural resources are fully utilized. Yeah, optimum utilization of resources, you can say. High level of per capita income, high human development index. So how high human development, when the education and health is taken care, definitely the human resource, no, HDI would be good. Okay, so this is possible in it is in developed countries. Then we have increased life expectancy. See, when they are having a very good standard of living, health is taken care of, education is good, morally they are very good, definitely no life expectancy would be more in that countries. Okay, low birth rate, so they know the uh, ill effects of overpopulation, so there would be therefore they would be planning, so hence low birth rates, and even medical facilities are good, so hence low death rates are there, and good housing conditions. Affluent countries, no, affluent amount, affluent jobs, affluent salaries and all, so therefore very good housing conditions are there. Then safe water supplies, abundant food supplies, easy to access advanced medical services, right? So these are uh, the characteristics of a developed countries. Next, when we see the developing countries, you can say some of these, meager or minimum. You just add to it, then it comes to the features of developing countries. Like, see, they are in the process of industrialization. They are not totally industrialized economies, but they are in the process of industrialization. Okay, and you have low level of affluent citizens, higher levels of unemployment. You can take, see, we still call our India as developing country. Okay, so you can see there's a high level of unemployment, lower education rate. See, some states they are fully literates, and some they are no very far behind getting literacy rates increased, isn't it? So very low education rates, and moreover, no, they are not balanced. Also, we can say some of the southern states well versed, but when we take northern or no eastern side of India, poor in literacy rates, right? Then often contain undeveloped rural villages. Yeah, you don't have roads there, you don't have connectivity, whether it is banks or insurance or telecom. No connectivity is not there. Unstable governments. See, you can see that. There's an instability, shift from BRS to Congress, and they are saying that within 1 year they would be changing this government. They'll show the majority and all. So this is what is instability of government, right? High level of birth rates, then high level of death rates are there because medical, overpopulated countries, so we cannot take care of all the medical facilities to all the people, right? A high infant mortality rate, dirty, unreliable water supplies, poor housing conditions, poor nutrition, diets that are short in calories or proteins. Okay, if they take full belly full food also, but proteins would be lacking in that. Then poor access to medical service. Yeah. Yeah. And endemic disease in some countries, low to medium standard of no, malnutrition is the disease we often see in African countries, right? Because lack of food, lack of protein, lack of no calcium and all. Limited technology capacities, low to medium standard of living, unequal distribution, right? All these things are the uh, some of the features of underdeveloped countries. Okay, so till here we have completed a block. You can ask me any questions if you have, so that we can move further.
Well,
Yeah, Shravan, do you have any question or query?
yes. I'm having a query that what kind of infrastructure needed for the internal organization regarding economically?
What kind of?
Internal structure of way of organizing it to for the economical way in the organization for the business side.
I'm sorry. I mean, I didn't get. I'll just switch off my fan.
अभी लाइट करवाना सर पेशेंट का
The voice is breaking. Yeah, now you can put.
एडिट करवाना है जनरल चेकअप I'm asking that what kind of internal structure is required for the organization for developing their business? जनरल चेकअप
Internal.
करवाना है सर आपको internal structure kind of what kind of positions or what kind of ideology they required for developing their own business.
Okay, fine, fine. See, very first thing is they should be very careful about no satisfaction of all its stakeholders. Now, especially employees. Okay, you should know. See, we all when we are an employee, what do we expect? We expect a salary in time, and no, in their talent must be recognized and no sometimes no the perks and perquisites must be given, so when you are providing them, they feel that they are associated with the company and they'll work. So one stakeholder is employee. Okay. Next is customers. Now, what customers they expect the product should be qualitative and at reasonable price they should get, and if they are habituated with that product, it should be available at wherever they go. That means availability of that product should be everywhere, so that we should take care of. So customers we have to satisfy, so we have to make policies as such. Now when we are talking about no institutions from where we get loan and sometimes raw materials, what they do expect. See, they want their funds back and some interest must be given to them. So when we are doing these things in a proper way, they will also be feel satisfied. So when good people, when these people are satisfied, definitely they would be working and getting associated with this business unit, and they'll put their heart and soul to the organization. Okay, so happily they'll be doing so. You have to make such internal strategies. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Fine. Yeah. Shall we move further?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So with next, no, in block 2, we will be dealing with these 3 units: economic planning in India, then structure of the Indian economy, liberalization, privatization, and globalization. Okay, I'm sorry, I mean 4 units, and one is Indian financial system and reforms in financial sector. Okay. Yeah. First of all, let us know the meaning of economy. Apart from this, from the slide, can anybody explain me what is economy?
The way of surrounding in the globalization market we are in.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. See, I will go with this definition. An economy is a limited geographical area, especially normally a country where consumption, production, exchange, and distribution of goods and services takes place. Yeah. See, when we talk about Indian economy, here what we would be seeing how the consumption pattern is, no, how the rich people are buying, how the middle class people are buying, how the no medium or low income group are buying. That all we deal with. Yeah. So consumption pattern and then production. No? manufacturing industries are there, how, what is service sector, all these things that comes under economy. Okay, yeah, these activities are undertaken by individuals, by business firms, by government, or by any other agencies specially designed for this purpose of consumption, production, exchange, and distribution of goods and services. Okay, now we have different types of economic systems in the world. One is capitalism, right? Yeah, best example is USA. So when I'm telling you about the features of this capitalism, just remember that we are talking about USA. Okay. Yeah. See, capitalist economies are characterized by the private ownership of means of production, right? Means of productions are land, labor, capital, and organization. Yes, right? So all these things are in the hands of private people. They will be policy matters regarding everything, buying of land, construction of business, or whom to recruit, yeah, what uh, from where we have to get the capital, how we can boost the capital, all these things are in the hands of few people or private people, we can say. Okay, the whole geographical resources, physical resources, all these things are are in the control of individuals, or you can call it some business, private business houses. Okay, people, they have the right to own and dispose their private property as per their wish, as per their ability. Okay, and the basic decision especially is based on profit motive rather than welfare. So in capitalism, more conscious they are about earning profits, not service. Okay, so you can say in these economies, no, consumers are kings, as in the entire production and distribution they are guided by the consumer choices. So here, especially in this capitalism, you term consumer as a king, and their taste, their likes, their preferences, they are taken care of, and accordingly products and services are produced. Okay, in this, no, consumers and workers both, they enjoy economic freedoms. They have the choices of goods, choice to work in whatever place they want, choice in trade, whether they go on to be domestic or international. Okay, and the role of government is very restricted. Yeah, very restricted to policing duties of maintaining only internal law and order and protecting the nation from external aggression. Only to that extent the government would be playing a part. And government also engage in limited other areas, no, such as uniform currency, yeah, standardization of weights and measures, and other welfare activities of the people. So in other words, we can say capitalist economies, they ensure quality and reasonable prices, because no firms would be operating in competitive environment. Yeah, competition is the lifeblood of capitalist economies, we can say. So these are some of the features of capitalism. Next comes socialism. See, socialism economies, no, they are mostly controlled and command economies, because no, here the means of production, they are mostly owned by the state. Here, state, I mean to say government. Okay, people's welfare replaces profit motive in a social economy. In these economies, public sectors, they play a vital role. Okay, not just a private business as we have seen in capitalism. There is no right to private property and economic freedom to the people. Individual freedom, no, this is very, we can say, subservient to state authority. They have to subdue. Okay, then decisions relating to what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce, they are all under the control of government departments, especially like planning commission, that will be determining what to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce, right? Here state determines even the size of production, the volume of production, Well, because no consumers, they have no choice but to consume whatever is produced. If you are giving them 2 rupees rice, they have to consume it. There is no choice that they want a fine rice, right? That is economic freedom of choice is also not there. Generally, planning commission, what they do, they substitute the role of prime price mechanism, especially in this socialist economy. Okay, socialist economy seems to ensure quality and seems to show equality in the distribution of no wealth, incomes, resources, and security of work and employment. So these are some of the features, and best example, no, former USSR, they adopted this socialist economy. Okay, yeah. Next is mixed economy. Can anybody give me the example of mixed economy? Yeah, our country, India. Okay, yeah. See, mixed economies is a system that combines what both capitalism and socialism. So name itself is saying mixed capitalism and socialism, clubbing that. That means private stake also would be there and the government stake also would be there. So hence mixed economy. Okay, profit motive of private sector and welfare base or welfare things of public sector, they are adjusted. Okay, how? Through some instruments like no industrial licensing policies, yeah, monopolistic restrictive trade practices. So in such way these instruments are used so that they can have a balance between no profit motive of private sector and no the welfare measures of government. Okay, so public and private sectors, they complement with each other rather than to compete. So the idea behind this system is no special to derive the benefits of both capitalism and socialism. Okay, uh, we can say no public and private ownership of means of production. Production is controlled by private individuals as well as no government owned agencies, and people have control freedom of work, choice of goods, trade, enterprises. So there is a coexistence of both private and public sector. No, of especially no of economic planning, price mechanism, economic decision making, all these things. Okay, so each economic system they have their own advantages: capitalism, socialism, and mixed economy. So when we have both, no, this type of in India, especially best example is India. It is expected that we can derive the benefits of both. So hence this has been adopted. Okay, right from first 5 year plan. No, Indian economy ever since then it has progressed through the efforts both by government and private sector. Okay, so these are some of the features of mixed economy. When we look into the salient features of this Indian economy, we have this one first one: mass party and low per capita income. Indian economy, no, it is been characterized. You can see, no, slum area in Mumbai and all, no, mass party, which is chronic. Okay, but not the result of any temporary misfortune, but by because these things has happened because of obsolete methods of poor production, poor social organization, right? Majority of people in India are living under party, especially characterized by poor quality of roti, kapda, or makan, right? Food, clothing, housing, and not only that, education also is poor, and healthcare is also not taken care of. When we just look into the GDP, in dollars, in 1960s and 2015, India's it is just 307.4, and in 2015 it is 1750.6. When you see USA, see 17,036.9 in 1960. In 2015 it is around no 51,638.1. So That's a major difference between the GDPs of these two countries. The main causes, what can it be for mass party and low per capita income? First thing is slow rate of growth of national income. You can see inflation everywhere, isn't it? High rate of growth of population. Yeah, this is an important one. I've got some chats. Okay, fine. They are answering in the chat box. Very good. Okay. So I'm telling you about the causes of low income and high poverty, right? One is low rate of growth of national income. Second one is high rate of growth of population. See, whatever development we are doing, it is being curbed because of growth of population. So many mouths to feed and so less hands to work, right? That is there. And third one is unequal distribution of national income. See, the total income no is not distributed properly among all the areas of the country. And fourth one is increasing share of governmental expenditure. Yeah, the government expenditure on elections, yeah, on their manifesto and all these things, huge increases there. And fifth one is increasing share of private and public investment. That's the reason that we have mass party and low per capita income. Second one is what we see in Indian economy is inequalities in the distribution of income. Okay, when we look into the World Development Report, the richest 20% they have a share of only 46.1% of the income, and the poorest they have only 20% of only 11.6% of the total income. So the lifestyles of the rich they are far better than no, especially in West. Yeah, that's one thing. Inequalities in the distribution of income. Third one is predominance of agriculture. You all know ours is an agricultural country, right? It is providing employment to two-thirds of the working population. Before it was 71.7%, but now it has reduced. Nearly 60% of the labor force they are absorbed in agriculture sector, and livelihood by agriculture is provided to around 70% of the people. Yeah, primary sector, yes. Uh, yes, Indian farmer they produce only 1/5 or to 1/7 of what is counterparts in the other developed countries are producing, because of technology is not used. Many farmers they are illiterate. Yeah, they don't follow the what I can say technology being used in agriculture. This is one of the main, you can say, underdeveloping process, right? And the next one is underdeveloped natural resources and inadequate capital formation. See, there is a popular saying, right? From my 10th social textbook, I have seen this. A rich country inhabited by poor people is India. Rich country, but inhabited by poor people. So it's a fact showing that we are endowed no with inexhaustible quantity of natural resources, abundant land resources of varying fertilities there, rich water resources with perennial rivers like Ganga and all perennial, they won't dry also. And also divergent climatic conditions are there. So we are rich with abundant land resources, rich with perennial rivers and very good climatic conditions, but still it is inhabited by poor people because the reasons are many. Overpopulation, literacy rate is low, standard of living is less, unemployment is huge, right? All these things. In addition, with we have underutilization of natural resources also, we can say, because inability to accumulate, especially the rate of capital resources, and nature and the state of technology also is not up to the mark. And the low rate of capital is reflected as especially in the low quantity of production and consumption in steel, cement, and energy. So that's why underdeveloped resources are there. Okay, next very important one is demographic profile. Yeah, India is secondly highly populated in last 2 3 years back. Now we have reached onto the top, right? The high rate of population growth is because high birth rate is there, and low, very steeply we can say declining death rate, especially when we see the statistics. We It is decreased to 1.8% during 1991 to 2001, where when we compare to developed countries, right? It is constantly and rapidly growing. That has to be curbed actually. So demographic profile is different, no? Age group, even age, income of population, yeah. The education profile of the people or population in India, they are quite different. We say that youngsters are more in and there's a lot of opportunity in India. Yes, there are, but there should be no proper planning to utilize these workforce for the development of the country, right? So demographic profile. Next is mass employment and underemployment. See, the inability of the abled adult citizens who intend to be employed, failing to get the work for the normal number of hours at the market, and given wage rate is also very less. So such type of things are there, and mass unemployment. In India, unemployment exists in both rural areas and urban areas, and we can find open unemployment, disguised unemployment, frictional unemployment, structural and unemployment, educated unemployment, gender discriminated and unemployment. All these things are there in India. Okay. Next is poor quality of human capital. See, human beings, when we say and to be used in labor industry or in organizations as human resources, they should have abilities, skills, knowledge. No, their IQ, their EQ, their SQ should be good, isn't it? But this has been lacking in India. I mean, not to the, if they are given training and all, definitely that can be improved, and we are in the improvement stage by various we can say departments working on giving trainings to develop human capital in India. And the Ministry of Human Resources is there. Okay, fine. Investments in human beings, it is considered as a capital formation, but this is unfortunately very low in India. The quality of human capital can be measured, especially with indicators, as I told you, level of literacy, per capita expenditure, especially on education, per capita consumption of paper, per capita consumption of reading materials, availability of hospital beds, availability of doctors, per capita expenditure on health. Okay, so when we talk about human capital, basic two things you should remember: that education sector must be good, they should be provided good education, and health benefits must be there to the human beings. Then definitely no HDI, human development index, would be, human capital would be good. You have a qualitative human capital. So we have to work on these two sectors, education and health sectors. Next is technological backwardness. Okay, see, consumption of energy is used as one of the indicators for technological advancement, right? See, thanks that we have even missiles and being other defense equipment, we are not importing from other countries. We are manufacturing ourselves, thanks to the policy matter of called Make in India, right? Yeah, that is, we can tell to some extent that we are not totally backward in technology, but still technological backwardness is there. Because see, I'll give an example also. Most of the faculty over the advanced countries are using AI tools for their lesson planning, for delivering their lectures or paper presentations and all. But here only few are there. This is one example when we talk about technological backwardness. Okay. Next is inadequate infrastructure. Yeah, when we talk about infrastructure, it is power, transport, and communication system. These three must be very good. Okay, power, electricity, and other forms of energy must be there in every rural village of the country. Okay, and transport, no, connectivity by road, connectivity by water, connectivity by air, connectivity by rail, that should be there. Okay, and good communication system. Yeah, telecom industry must be good. There should be. So even though in urban areas, sometimes some of the service providers, some like other no, like Idea or Airtel or Jio, no, are not available even in some areas of the urban. We have to just take our mobile to some place and find the network there. So this is what is. So therefore, if these three things are taken care of in infrastructure, developing definitely we can develop. Okay, but it is inadequate, not totally nil, but we have inadequate system. Okay, there are shortages of skilled labor also because proper manpower planning is not done, and inadequate connectivity between manufacturing places and consumption points are there, even absence of banking and financial institutions. So these are all have to be developed. Okay, so as to develop our infrastructure. Next is dualistic economy, the coexistence of two forces, the private and public at the same point. We call it as dualism. No, we have this. So high traditional and ultra modern India coexist. The standard of living and consumption of pattern of rich are very far from those of developed countries, but at the same time nearly one third of its population are below poverty line. See, two extremes we can say. We have no totally high rich people, no, spending crores of rupees on only pre-wedding of their sons, isn't it? So such rich are there, but we have even a slum area where no water facility is not there, diet is not good, right? So two extreme points. Next comes is unfavorable social system. Yeah, you have no reservations, the development of all the people, categories of people, right? You have this, and you have to cope up with all these things. So the rudimentary nature, we can say, of this social organization, it is inherited, no, on the eve of independence. You can thank, or you can not be thankful to this British, how they have divided Hindus and Muslims and all. So social system is no, somewhere some quarrels and some misunderstandings. All these things are there in the social system. So Alan H, what he stated, especially regarding Indian farmers, is in India the agricultural practices are based on customs and conventions. A village agriculturalist is afraid of science and technology. Insecticides, for example, for them is a taboo. Chemical fertilizers area, they are gamble to them, and to try a new seed is to risk starvation and misery, we can say. So that is no adaptability to change is lacking in this social system, so hence it is unfavorable. Okay, some they believe in joint family system, some hierarchical social relationships, some they believe in karma. No, this is my karma, I'm getting no rains for this crops, right? Like this, so karma theory, unfavorable caste system is there, you know, social divisions are there, especially based on caste, based on religion, based on language, based on gender. So these are all prevailing, but still we have to cope with all these things. Okay. Doubts any till here? Okay. So when we have seen these things, the features of Indian economy, we can't be just keep quiet with all these mass party, low per capita income, dualistic infrastructure, or economy, technological backgrounds. There must be some planning, isn't it? So hence, no, the emergence of planning in India has started. Okay. See, planning, what is it? It is nothing but a deliberate control and direction of the economy, especially by central authority. Why? Because to achieve definite goals and targets within a specific period of time. Now, that's the reason that we have 5-year plans, right? Because it's a deliberately, we have to control population, we have to provide them education, we have to provide them infrastructure, agriculture must be there, no taboos should be. Yeah, that's why no centralized planning is being done, right? So slowly planning in India has emerged. Okay. And we can have some landmarks also, we can say, before moving to planning commission and functions of the planning commission. See, 1934, Mr. Vishweshwaraya plan, it is a blueprint for 10 years plan development in India. So a huge, we can say, a huge development because of this Vishweshwara plan in 1934. He made it for 10 years. In 1938, appointment of National Planning Committee. Okay. Then in 1944, Bombay Plan, that is 8 industries of Bombay, they prepared this 5-year plan for the development of the country. Okay. Then in 1944, we have Gandhian Plan, especially prepared by Sriman Narayana. Okay, it is also popularly known as production by masses. So that means economy, freedom to produce whatever they want. That is the Gandhian plan. Then 1944 People's Plan, that is given. Then in 1946 creation of interim advisory board. Then in 1947 AICC appointed Economic Program Committee. Okay. And then in 26 January 1950, we have adopted our own constitution with some directive principles of state policy, especially laying emphasis on equal right to adequate means of livelihood, ownership, and control of resources. Okay, to serve the national interest, equity, and preventing the inequalities and control of concentration of wealth. So we can say that the development of India has started right in the British era also, we can say, because 1934, no, we were struggling for freedom and all, but still the focus was on the development of the economy as well. So hence emergence of planning has started right from 1934. The apex body of this planning is, we call it as a planning commission. Okay. This planning commission was set up to a resolution of the government of India in March 1950. And they are charged with the responsibility of making assessment of all the resources of the country. So these people, they'll just assess all the resources. Yeah, natural resources, physical resources, financial resources, all resources they will assess. And then wherever there are deficient resources, how to augment that would be taken care of. Then they'll formulate plans for the most effective and balanced utilization of resources. How? By giving priorities, whether agriculture must be developed first, whether industry must be developed first, or whether services must be developed, right? Whether education should be given importance, whether health is to be given importance, or whether we have to focus on defense of the country, like that. Giving priorities, they just plan and formulate plans, okay, accordingly. So functions of planning commission, we can take into this five. One is first is formulate a plan for the most effective and balanced utilization of country's resources. So they devise plans, right? Maybe for 1 year, maybe for 2 years, maybe for 5 years, right? In India, it is followed 5 year plans and all. So so that what priorities must be. And second one, I said, as it is seen in the slide, determination of priorities, yeah, agriculture or industry or service, right? Accordingly, plan they'll formulate a plan. Okay, they design a plan. Third one is mobilization and allocation of resources, physical and financial, for the implementation of the plans. Yes, yeah, they have to allocate the resources, physical, financial, and all. How much for this sector, how much for this sector, and all. And accordingly, they will mobilize it. Fourth one is appraise from time to time. It's not that one we have planned and the things are going on. You have to take the feedback also, and we have to appraise it whether it's going according to the plan or not, execution is properly or not. So appraise from time to time the progress achieved in the execution of each stage of the plan and recommend adjustments. Okay, if any loophole is there, you have to overcome that. You make some adjustments. If financial resources are lacking, that should be provided. Okay, and all these things. Then fifth one is determine the nature of the machinery which will be necessary for securing the successful implementation of the plan. The nature of machinery, whether it's the central government or the state government or the rural government, yeah, who would be involved in that, so that plan should be executed. When you are dealing with the defense and you're giving priority